Shaitan, it's a sign. Shaitan, what do Babylon? What do Babylon? Yeah. What do Babylon? What do Babylon? Ooh. Them say I a cry, so the tears in me eye, and them still a pressure I and I. Them say I a bad, and them still a beat me my fever. Oh God, them say I a cry, so the tears in me eye, and them still a pressure I and I. Them say I a ball and them still a beat me my fever. Imagine two friends apart, and one can't pay for meat and one a rasta, so one can't play for leave. And when night a fall, one place to sleep, not even piece of bread for next against the team. Oh God, them one man for teeth. If police come shoot me, them one man for bleed. Hurt them one man for leave into the cemetery. Oh God, them see I a cry, see the tears in my eye, and them still a pressure I and I. Them see I a bad, and them still a beat big man fever. Oh God, them see I a cry, see the tears in my eye, and them still a pressure I and I. Them say I a bad, and no like them notice them man a bad. Right now, front see me call out, cause me can pull a gate and go in a yard and call it no. But still me nah rise up no chrome and bust no dome and make no skin and left no bone. But when me rise up in the morning and I miss a show teeth in Chapalene, when me I eat for breakfast, if it smell that's your vomit. Oh God, them say I a cry, them say the taste in me eye, and them still a pressure I and I. Them say I a bad, them still a beat me my fever. Oh God, them say I.
Give thanks and praise to the mystic laws of the universe and its protective functions and forces in nature that guide our thoughts and our path in all ways that are lawful, correct, and positive. We do give thanks and praise. Spirit of the air, cut and clear. Spirit of the earth, cut and clear. Spirit of water, cut and clear. Spirit of fire, cut and clear. Spirit of heat, cut and clear. Remove all adversarial spirits from our existence. Grant us real peace. Give thanks and praise. Now I must say the doctrine of proper law of contract. And when I say proper law, it literally means the appropriate legal system. Now, I man say two trusts out there, or two probably system of law really, they're out there. And for Jamaica here, we have the Jamaica Trust. And you can find that instrument if you type in the Jamaica Trust online, you'll find it. It was, I guess, expressed out there September 16, 2019. And the Jamaica Trust, what is the Jamaica Trust? I'm going to say the proper law of Jamaica. And the proper law of Jamaica will be the contractually binding Chapter 3 of the Jamaica Constitution as amended by assent 2011, the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom. That's the proper law of Jamaica, and that's the Jamaica Trust. Now, when we say the foreign trust, we are talking about that are the second trust, the U.S. Bankruptcy Code or the Uniform Commercial Code. Most people not gonna see it that way, and we don't have no problem with that. You know, we are express a new faculty of thinking, meaning we're autonomous in our thought. We not really try, follow nobody else. We just look on the information that is being presented and we deduce it for ourselves. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that we are doing. So I man I say the two trusts here. The foreign trust would represent the birth certificate. That's where them are administrate. That's why them behave like how them behave. It's all in commerce. Now the Jamaica trust, them ignore that, set that aside, because them have a political area where them are the business, it's profiting, so that's what them really focus on, the foreign trust. I'm going to go on to say a trust is a legal entity, just like the birth registration form, certification of vital record, where those two merge, that bond instrument. So the trust is a legal entity with separate and distinct rights, similar to a person or a corporation. Now, in a trust, a party known as a trustor, which would be a mom or dad, give another party, a trustee, which would be the government. What them give them? Them give them the application or the birth application form, but them now call it birth registration form. This is a trick where them start with the people. At first it was a birth application form, but documents from I see here what people show me recently, the caption or the heading said Registered General's Department birth registration form. Before it's registered, it have to get certified. And before it can do all of that, it have to have an application. So now them have the birth application form. That was back in the days. Now them have it as registration form. So they are telling us that them are change up everything accordingly. So if you want to know the distinction, you have a loss out there at sea. And again, remember, we said a legal entity is that person, is that male, is what them can interact and interface with. And that is the trust, that is the express trust. Yeah, man. So again, your mom, who is a trustor, give some information in hospital birth record because you're born at them hospital, because the government entity or agency or the recipient, then them are the trustee. And them have the right to hold title to and manage property or asset for the benefit of a third party who would be the offspring of the mom and dad as grantor, and they would be the beneficiary. However, the government kind of, when them register the instrument, them have you in any kind of commercial transaction assign unendorsed, well, not unendorsed, but unsecured endorsement. This is when you sign, you just sign and you don't really secure the signature, because you don't know nothing about it. So the moment them get the unsecured signature, they must say you convey or you transfer your interest and your right to them, making them the beneficiary. Literally, that's what I go on. However, when you become cognizant of how we are express it, you know, so boy, if there is any trust, which we know it's an express trust, we know so the all capital name is that entity. The all capital name now have nothing to do with the public agent. We are manage the trust. Not at all. The public agent usually would have a trust of his own. And this is the primary trust we are talking about. We're not talking about the secondary trust where people create their own trust here and them trust there. No, we don't know nothing about that. We just look for what we have in our hand. I man have what them call a birth certificate, where I know say it represent a bank, it represent a surety. My birth certificate is what I call a sophisticated financial instrument, because there is no real money out there, so my birth certificate becomes the collateral asset. Where Babylon make a presumption, say I make a pledge to be the debtor for their national debt. So them have to use the birth certificate to operate out there in the commerce. However, evil people decide to ignore the paper and focus on the man and say, boy, the man is the male, when there is a distinction. So this is why we say create a separation of entity. Now we say a trust can be established to provide legal protection for the trustor's asset, to ensure they are distributed according to their wishes. So people will say the government create the trust, but again, ask yourself, what is the trust relationship? How a trust relationship is established? And we have forgot to what they call the antecedent, which is the pre-existing. Antecedent, not anti or antecedent. We are taught the pre-existing, the underlying contract upon which they might operate. Period. That's what we do. We go to the court. We don't play games. This is why my brethren Joel Jaguar is right here now at his home, in his homeland. Because he get the keys and he use the keys correctly. And I'm so impressed with that man, Joel Jaguar. I'm really impressed at the rate I when learn and the things I when know, where even me and him discuss and I say, and everything we have to let out there, because most people just want to hear these things to make a mess. Because if you're outside of the sovereign capacity, you're not going to use sovereign information. Because I am he, that sovereign man. So is Joel Jaguar. Yeah, man. And we exist right here in America as West Indian. You understand? With southern counterpart, where they're way in the deep south, that they call themselves Amerindian. We have some warriors where they're way up north, that we say, boy, them are the American Indian. But we say it's all one and the same, but we have a problem as up specifically on West India. We exist in what them call the West Indies. And we know, sir, this is the Western Hemispheric region of the earth, Western territory. So we don't have a problem on express what we are dealing with for honorable clarification. Because we love clarity. Now, touch them information, yeah. Now go lick out the invite for whomever chose, you know. Yeah. Sometimes we can learn a lot of things if someone can rebut or correct with, we don't have them problem there. Now I'm there out here too long, but I know I have a 1 hour style about me, you know. Later I go pass it, but I have to catch myself. Again, my birth certificate is there to protect me, because my birth certificate is the surety. Literally. I'm going to demonstrate that. I express that in the Jamaica judicial system, in the court system. So I'm totally aware of I and my capabilities, because them say a lot of information. I literally show them these things. Now we say, additionally, a trust can help an estate avoid taxes, and probate. Listen again, because people love to talk about trust, but then I say nothing about estate. And may I tell you, you have an infant estate that was established. Literally, that's naturally. And then your trust is attached to your estate. You understand? And both of them connected, both of them combined, both of them work hand in hand, both of them work together. But then we're separated, fragmented, so them keep people lost all over the place. Now it said can protect assets from creditors and dictate the terms of inheritance for beneficiaries. So when you hear me talk about inheritance and birthright and hereditament, I'm going to say wrap up in your birth certificate. This is what I mean. Everything starts there, everything is right there, but then we deceive you and have you do all kind of nonsense to give them power. Make sure you can claim what is yours rightfully. You're not going to get there without knowledge, and you can't use an attorney to get there. Now I man say trust merger. Listen carefully. Trust merger is when the sole trustee, like the government, and the sole beneficiary of the trust, when the government register your trust and then become the beneficiary, move it from you, you become the trustee, are the same person or institution. Let me read it that again. Trust merger. Trust merger is when the sole trustee, boy, I'm going to find myself and giggle right here, the government and the sole beneficiary of the trust, the government, are the same person or institution. Now, when this occurs, there is no longer separation between the trustees' legal ownership of the trust property and the beneficiary's interest. The beneficiary's interest. So them said there is no longer a separation. Now when that happens, the trust merges and ceases to exist. Them say let's put it another way then. When the person responsible for managing the trust, who is that? The government as fiduciary trustee, is the same person as the recipient of the trust benefits. Remember, we now get the benefits nowhere. Them are bully with. You know what I mean? So them are the beneficiary and the documentation show it. You understand? The trust ends. When you hear that? The trust done. It ends. The trust ceases. Now we said the birth application. The birth application form is used to create the state hospital birth record that is certified by the State Island Records Office, which is then registered with the government at the Register General's Department. And then break down here. I don't want to go too deep, I just touch some level. So, ones and ones can kind of gain some clarity. Now, the party are for my brethren, Joel Jaguar, and for others in a field situation. This is why we say we don't have a problem. Express yourself. We come across that information and it's just appropriate. Me always, rearrange and bring my own perspective according to my due diligent research. So it is said until the middle of the 19th century, all courts applied the law of the place where the contract was made. Now, listen carefully. This statement, I just tell you basically say when you go to court, it always have something to do with contract. It not tell you that enough, but just listen to me to read it again. In the middle of the 19th century, the courts applied the law of the place where the contract was made. Them call it in a Latin, the lex loci contractus, to decide whether the given contract was valid. Unfortunately, it was open to abuse and at the same time produced difficulties in cases where the contract required each party to perform its obligation in different countries. As a result, English common law developed a test to determine which system of private law would be used to construe the contract. The test determined what is known the proper law of contract. The test determined what is known the proper law of contract. I missed something there. Therefore, the doctrine of proper law emerged. Okay. So they must then create a system to say which system of private law would be used to construe a contract. The test determined what is known as the proper law of contract. Therefore, the doctrine of proper law emerged until 1991. The flexible rule in England, which governed most issues, was known as the proper law of contract. This rule was a system of law by reference to which a contract was made. In the absence of choice, the parties had the power, not the judge. The parties had the power, Joel Jaguar. Even when you're in a court as a defendant, you are what them call a party to the case. So you as a party to the case had the power to select the law which was to govern their contract. This principle, listen. Oh, all right. Let me carry it back just a time. The doctrine of proper law emerged. God them did run a test to see which system of private law can be construed as, contract, which would be binding. So they must say, until 1991, the flexible rule in England which governed most issues was known as the proper law of contract. This rule was a system of law by reference, which is, when they say by reference, this is where everybody I use unless it presents something else. By reference to which a contract was made. In the absence, meaning, like how you see going in these courts, them not tell you what is the nature and the cause, and why you did it. Them not tell you which law is being implemented. You're just going there like a slave. Because this is what all our ancestors did. This is what everybody did until I man kind of go in there and buck the system. And I man just learn as I go along. Now here I am, I go express this thing on the next level where it can go fly over the common people head. But my brethren, Joel Jaguar and the warrior, them in a my thing, when they go express and break down with, them I go get it clearly, crystal clearly. We're not getting nothing where you just write on paper. We have placed information inside of you, where you take with you anywhere you go. Because I tell you, say, you are that sovereign, where you can't be sovereign without accurate knowledge. True, excuse me. Yes, I. Wow. Yes, sir. Boy, forgive me for a little bit, you know? Yeah. Now, I get back to this thing, you know. Joel Jaguar, again, until 1991, let me separate it so I can deal with it. Yeah. Until 1991, the flexible rule in England which governed most issues was known as the proper law of contract. The rule, this rule was a system of law by reference to which a contract was made. In the absence of choice, the parties had the power to select the law which was to govern their contract. I got express to you, man, what it is when you say certain things. When I direct you to set things in courts, this is why, you know, because them not express which law, so you have to invoke the law where you are dealing. So this is when you invoke them public court, make them know you are dealing with the common law, and then you secure your fundamental rights and freedom. When you say without prejudice, you know, all rights reserved without prejudice under the Uniform Commercial Code 1-308, you have to secure these things. And when you do it at the get-go, then if them not have no proper law deal with, that's it. Usually them not have no proper law deal with, because you're not supposed to know what me have expressed to you right here. You're not. And then they expect I forget it, you know, forget it like this or have this clarity. Them totally underestimate we ancestors. We are moved through it. Totally underestimate them. Just like how them we underestimate I. So them thing your clarity, my warrior over there on Nantucket Island, and for all warriors we associate with I. We are step with knowledge. Yeah man. Accurate knowledge. Now we say this is the principle why, again, in the absence of choice, the parties had the power to select the law which was to govern their contract. This is the principle of party autonomy. Listen to that term, my warrior brethren out there. So you as a party to whatever controversy, case or matter, you have autonomy, my lord. Meaning you have your own sovereignty unless you give it away. Now, the principle of party autonomy, where there is an express selection of the proper law. Listen again, where there is an express selection of the proper law. My warrior brethren, Joel Jaguar, when you step in and just do what you're supposed to do, you're going to get the results what you're supposed to get. Don't make them tricky and talking, and all that nonsense. So from you step in and you say acknowledge and accept, read, and you just start, you give thanks. And when they move again, you make them know, say, listen, yeah, I reserve all rights without recourse under the Uniform Commercial Code, what I know say apply. So right there, you apply the two trusts, my lord. You collapse it, you merge it, so nothing will go on. This is a much higher level, more spiritual than physical, but you have to express it. This is what I go on. This is behind the scenes where the common folk here know, but a man like I don't know. Again, that's the most I work and choose naturally. Really. So, again, this is a principle of party autonomy, where there is an express selection of the proper law. In a conflicts lawsuit, one or more state laws will be relevant to the decision-making process. One or more state law will be relevant to the decision-making process. In cases where the law have substantive differences, the choice of which law to apply will produce a different judgment. Joel Jaguar, you see what go on? Now, the brethren, where them deport from Nantucket Island, him probably not have an attorney or him have a legal aid or some nonsense like that. But him couldn't speak on for himself, so I'm not understanding. So them just railroad him, do what they want. Now, them would have the same plan for you, Joel Jaguar, literally. I tell you, we see it spiritually and have to burn it. Yeah, man. But you have the keys. You understand? They have the keys and they apply themselves exceptionally well. And when I say at the end of it, the devil not necessarily just get embarrassed and go away. They must strategize, but to no avail. We're on the correct side of the issue and them on the fake side, the colorable side. Yeah. The fictional side, the de facto side. So, irrespective of what them say, them are governed by the Uniform Commercial Code. And for the Uniform Commercial Code to have any effect as law, it has to harmonize with the constitutional, secured and guaranteed laws that is in place. So them kind of clarity are separate out there. Notice how I break this down, different from the TikTok superstar them, different from the ones them where they in the YouTube. You understand? This is our first-hand knowledge experience where it has to verbalize. You understand? And when we come across information where we are saying, I don't know new, because the very same, idea or, faculty of thinking where we are expressing it, yeah. We just have to tweak it and, make sure say it has said just what we are saying. So them thing you have clarity out there. Really higher level. Yeah, man. And how we have set the trend, the flag bearer. Yeah, man. Again, express selection of the proper law. In a conflict lawsuit, one or more state laws will be relevant to the decision making. In cases where the law have substantive differences, the choice of which law to apply will produce a different judgment. Therefore, each state produces a set of rules to guide the choice of law. One of the most significant rules which the law applies in any given situation was the proper law. This is why when they invoke the proper law, yeah, something else happens. Well, them have to act accordingly. Let's put it that way. This is a law which seems to have the closest and most realist connection to the facts of the case. So the proper law are going to be the choice in connection to whatever case being presented. Now, when them now use a proper law, then something else will go on. That's why I'm saying public slavery. And we now talk sideways. We are express it, we are demonstrate it, and we are bring clarity. Yeah, man. Now, them said the choice between conflicting rules of more than one jurisdiction is developed in 4 areas of law. 1, the capacity of the parties to contract. That means that, yeah, if you qualify for contract, when the Constitution says the man can contract it. And then says the availability and the nature of the remedy. Then I talk about remedy all now when it concerns me, and it concerns Jaguar, and concerns others such as us. I don't think Vice Cartel get no remedy for them unlawful imprisonment, where them imprison him and overturn conviction. Yeah, so we have to discuss remedy, government of Jamaica. And next one is the formal validity. When them say formal, I would think it have to go through the lawful, the legal procedure, the proper process. And them say substantive validity. That means the presumption of it go away. You can't use no presumptive witness statement. Like Ferrell Dorsey, I got presume said Joel Jaguar slave because him is a West Indian. And him look like I. Him not look like the next white guy. So she just make that presumption and just, initiate the controversy where it's now become, because the dispute started with her initiation, making her dishonorable, just like her agency, just like Donald P. Hart, just like that Ku Klux Klan Kevin M. Bates, Massachusetts State Trooper. Judgment. Now, I don't want to go much farther than this. We can really, get down in it, but the item should get the gist of what we are trying to present. You're not going to get this in us. No law school, there is no such thing. All them do I teach them corporate process and call it legal process. We know the distinction, so we are presented. So Joel Jaguar, what them do, them not tell you what go on, so usually people go in a court and do all kind of nonsense. I man discovered these keys years ago. This is why I'm telling them I can walk in and out of court, but you have to have knowledge behind it and not just the keys. You understand? You have to have some knowledge behind it. I'm not talking about the attorney's knowledge, because my knowledge decimate all attorneys in any capacity with them there. All of them. Why? God them now first on knowledge, no standing, so them can't, if me ever go in a court, them better pack up and run, literally. And this is law, not fallacy, not legality, contract law. Clarity, much higher level. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna have to, present it and continue to share it and, till my people know it. And it's a step-by-step process because we don't have nobody around here to teach it. Isaac, but Canon not up on this level. Those guys have to hide in a them secret place and I study my information. Just like Sean Penny, that boy, I'm not going to get that bridge in the name like C, so it's spelled. So I'm going to start butcher that man name. But here, not one of them can hold a candle to the information how he present. No, have nothing to do with me. Yeah, I'm just a little man there. But the information, priceless. Yeah, man, we as West Indian is undeportable. Anything we want to do is called slavery, public slavery, and it's unlawful. You understand? So we shall be held accountable for those kind of unlawful action when not perpetrated in the public. Remember, we are on and have no contract. Joel Jago and you people have absolutely no contract. We can't say the same for others. Because Joel expressed, say, I've renounced my Jamaican citizenship. That means a foreign trust. I have no, that's a enforceability against the man himself. But it can operate in a business like it ought to. With a man, a direct hit. That's it. Yeah, man. We not fair playing a song and dance with the others out there. Just try to attain the foundation, the root, the clarity. If there is a trust, how is the trust established? And how did I get involved in the trust? These are questions we have to ask. God, the trust can't create itself. The trust now got established when the corporate entity has said, hey, this is what it is. No. You or your interest on some part of active. So this is when your mom, by going to the hospital, she fill out a hospital birth application form. That's what she fill out. And the very birth application form is that hospital birth record. And them have to record it. And when them record it, them get a certificate of fact of it, so it's certified. And after them do all of that, them register it. That's when them add the foreign aspect to it. Where before the registration, when it's just a certification, that's when you did it as a pledge, as a trustee, as the beneficiary. Because say your mother go, they go get it and never you. You understand? So you're the beneficiary or you have beneficiary interest. You understand? But when it registered, that's when Babylon has said, you convey your title and interest to them, making them now the beneficiary. So all they need is your endorsement unsecured. So the bright people, them like the gurus, them now figure out these things long time and figure out how them can manipulate the thing and, participate and play games and I, but then leave the primary instrument there so Babylon can be that parasitic thing we attach to you. I man say Babylon, fire burn. If it's mine, I claim what it's mine. And I know it's my birthright. It's my heritage. You understand? And my name upon it. Whether it's in an upper and lower case or all capital, is not your name upon it. Judge as a fiduciary trustee. So then clarity. Without it, we lost that seed. Totally. I play games in a fiddle thing, Anyway, I hope this brings some clarity. Ryan O'Neill, Jano, sorry. Anna McKing. I never see the eye pass through. Anna out there, brother. Yeah, man, you think low. I don't know if you or mine. You might stay away. Take off the earpiece if I hit. Or it's there now. Talk, let me hear you. Yeah, choppy. I say a word, man. I know you're taking the information, you know? Yeah, man, and them information, yeah, our thing. Where no boy out there not have.
No. Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, man, that loud, you know, warrior.
The earpiece, man. The earpiece, you know?
Yeah,
Real,
man.
man. Yeah, man, they are taking the thing, man. The thing different, you know? After you listen keenly, I have to go back and read back all them things I'm done. I don't know,
Yeah.
if it, you know? Study it, you see me?
Yeah, and I send it to the eye them, so
Yeah,
I
man, I see it, man. I just forward in and then I eat some food and I get my thing start out and I see a jump on. So I just jump on the same time, you know? For real.
Tell me
But
something.
everything government.
Tell me something.
I hear you.
Yeah, it's supposed to have a little case out there, so where every time you go out there, them say no judge, no show up. What go on out there, sir?
Yeah, I want to see I'm on there next time, you know.
All right. Like
Monday
Monday,
I come here,
tomorrow
you
morning.
know. Spend it.
All right. We're going to talk after here.
Spend
We're going to talk after here. Mute your thing. Your thing too loud, it'll tear up my thing, or turn it down. You know what I mean? When you talk, it just go all over the place. So either you turn down the volume. Talk, you know. Boy, you probably...
Yeah, man. Me not nothing go on, no paperwork, nothing. Me not say nothing. And since night, where they lock me up, they move him from this side and put him on a Lucha, you know, over the mainland. Him over this side again.
Well, one thing I can tell you. The officials on the
All
island
right, my king, hold on.
mute your mic. Yeah, the officials on the island them a watch my thing. Cause I tell you, say, when I'm looking at the analytics, around there so lit up with a few people, I know so them have to look. So because them in a little small jurisdiction and thing and know say totally when you there so as a yard man at home you're there through your West Indian. But if you're Jamaican around there, so then you're in a country, in a them corporation, in a them in slavery. You understand? But through we are a work Indian and we say we are West Indian, we are American, it's a whole different situation. Anything Babylon do to you, them have to get them slave catcher, which is the police, to catch you. And then them going to carry you inside of them lock up. But them have to carry you in front of some kind of formal court process. And that's where I man keep my keys. Or master this. So as time go by, them are go aware say boy, yeah, the sovereign man that them man they associate they say it no make no sense we go there them outside of it. But if I man step out and establish it and set it, it now go happen. And warrior, the eye is a man we have knowledge and out there. And the eye see the work, that's why the eye step forward and stand up with us and the eye can talk the truth. is a different energy from what we normally see out there with all of these others that present all different kind of things. Totally different. And again, it's a step by step. You say all the court there, show me not have no information from the court. That's why I not prepare a document for that place there. But what me know me can do, me can just do a basic search on the area and look on them corporate structure and approach it from there. You understand? However, I'm going to give you some instruction where anytime at all you have to interact with them in any situation, any capacity, you just, follow the instructions. You understand? And then you leave my number where them can contact me after that. And so we have to step on them out there with proper law, Yeah, we have to just stay lawful and correct. And I man love it. I man love it, my lord. So I go on otherwise. The man does, I go on bill. Well, you have to get used to these things, warrior. Oh, your signal probably slow to around there, Warrior, unmute, me not hear nothing. Hear what me I say now? Tell me the name of that place there. You hear me, warrior?
Oh, no like the data. I get it done now. Hold on there.
Yeah, my sister, the thing I mess up around there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's slow. The data look like it's slow for me, Come there, I work on the data box, yeah.
So I go on, man. Me accept
Yeah,
it.
everything balanced to me differently still now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, everything balanced differently still. You don't know that on the work at daytime, man. You don't know. I just work home and more time I drive around the local island and look out and things. You see me? I want them to go on some fishing, but now I get the time of the day,
Yes, sir. Work up there, down.
Now the time.
Yeah. Warrior. Yeah, chip out. Yeah, chip out.
But everything otherwise, I just normal procedure, my brother.
Yeah, man. My sister, the thing I chip in and out.
But more than the but they have a little barber and I go and build yourself. You know what I mean? Taking a little class, I'm coming and build myself. So I say, yeah,
yes.
nothing more than that.
Yes,
yeah, it have me awake because here I go on now. I told Baba come see over here, And then now you hear me?
Yeah, man, I hear you about it chop up. That's why I said never does.
Yeah, man, I say I told Baba come see over here. But them now cut. So you find that through me I cut you now. Everybody a log on to me, so me I get the whole lot of pressure, you see me?
Yeah, feed everybody around there. Warrior, we're gonna catch up here, sir. Yeah. Warrior, you want me to say now, it a chop. Yeah, it a chop up too much, brother. Yeah, man. It a chop up too much, my lord. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Now warrior that they up there on the island there, Yeah. And the man there in a location where when I look on the location, I love it there. Yeah, man. Them places look like them places. Yeah, we stay peaceful in them locations, the rest of. Yeah, man. And then like a problem, I must some man does have bad mind over and girl will like you or you like him, girl, and he want to beat you up or something like that. Yeah. Outside of that, come like Nantucket Island. some peaceful location, man. That's why I know I have to go lift up off for the location after a while. I want to go do some skiing, you know. Yeah, man. So I have to go up in one of them locations. There were a whole heap of snow there and things. Montana type of place, you know. But yeah, we just share some information for bring some clarity and, you know, make them non-topic ones, just like the Jamaica ones, come a class. We are teach the earth, you know, but them no want to give with the credit. And we're good. As long as we're there, you know. That's all, you know. We just want there and we're there. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here now because the information I'm going to step out for share has been presented. So, you know, probably tomorrow again we'll touch back on some more information and push forward. That's how it goes. Them information, you know, we not see nobody express it this way out there. So it's like we are the trendsetter right now. Yeah. The flagship, you know. Flag bearer, we, the lighthouse. So we are doing it. Literally. Yeah, man. And a step by step. I really step by step. Anyway, the brave may fall but never yield, and we so bold and brave out there. Firm and strong out there. Again, a step by step process. If you know have the knowledge, nobody run down the paperwork. Better you allow the paperwork and run down the knowledge. So when you have the knowledge, you can approach it any which way you choose, according to you, because now we have the knowledge. But most people want paperwork and have no knowledge at all. And all them do is just make a mess. Pay attention to what me I said. They can show a renunciation document where you say you renounce it, you renounce from the Jamaican citizenship. You can show that. And you're going to show say it's certified, duly signed and sealed. You understand? And that gives power. Now, when a man can't present that, then it can't be associated with what we are dealing with. We sovereign in a this capacity. The seal, the house seal said clearly, brawling. You understand? So you won't be able to be a citizen and then you are creating a construct with, and you know what I mean? This is why people get in a problem over there. A lot of people learn a lot of things from me over the years, but through them move off and do their own thing, them not get this what me I tell them. Them not know nothing about it. Them not know about the separation of entities. Because them not know say two different entities operate like one. They merge them. That's why them say foreign trust and the Jamaica trust. And how you find it out, read the insolvency document, read the Jamaica Bankruptcy Act. Boy, when I ram for push information down them throat in a warrior. All I want to do is do the research. Just do the research. And then the ones them just come and we can have a discussion. But for whatever reason, the people are terrified around here, so my lord. Yeah, man, the energy of the people and shook Rasta. Well, if Babylon are trembling on them boats and piss up themselves, then yeah, it's no surprise when the common people are saying it. But I know nothing about the bridge with them. Yeah, man. But the warrior them will know it. Know the energy, know the sincerity, and know the perfect love. Yeah, that's why I know it irritates me so much because I love that perfect love. Yeah, man. But it's always a step-by-step situation out there, people. Always a step-by-step. Salute, my king. Where say you have anything for John before we jump off? Yeah, your thing a stuck, warrior. Like it, I got stay stuck.
You can't hear me?
Me I hear you, but it a get too much problem. All more you do a salute and we talk again when the thing 100, you know?
You can't hear me?
Salute, my king. You think off key and it, yeah, it a get issues, my brother. We have to go line up when you think up and proper. We have to go talk offline where we can, you know, figure out how you can balance the thing. So when you talk, it's not overpowering and loud. And, you know, we just work it when the connection work properly. But we give thanks to the past through, man. Complete respect with power of the king. Yeah, man. And to our subscribers, again, we say gratitude. Yeah, man. And to the ones them we choose to stand up like how we are choose to stand up. Sovereign in our capacity as West Indian. Yeah, man. I, man, say complete respect with honor, power, and gratitude. Salute out the free people. Salute. I think I can go and bounce the warrior.
It's a insane shaitan. What to Babylon? What to Babylon? Yeah. What to Babylon? What to Babylon? Ooh. Them say I cry, so the tears in me eye, and them still a pressure I and I. Them say I a bad, and them still a beat me more fever. Oh God, them say I cry, so the tears in me eye, and them still a pressure I and I. Them say I a ball, and them still a beat me more fever. Imagine two friends apart, and one can't pay for meat, and one a rasta. So one can't play for leave, and when night a fall, one place to sleep. Not even piece of bread for next against the team. Oh God, them one man to teeth. Me police come shoot me, them one man to bleed. Hurt them one man to leave into the cemetery. Oh God, them see I